Hey, we begin tonight with developing news regarding our southern border. Negotiators on Capitol Hill tonight saying a bipartisan agreement regarding the border has now been reached.
Senators saying the text of the deal could go to the Senate floor as early as this upcoming week. Components of the deal include a new authority that allows the president to shut down the border between ports of entry when unlawful crossings reach high levels. It also includes reforming the asylum system to resolve cases in a shorter time frame and expediting work permits. And as we wait for senators to finalize that deal, we're hearing from our state representatives on what this deal will mean for our state.
Yeah, Max Massey spoke with Henry Cuellar and Tony Gonzalez to hear what both sides have to say about our border.
This weekend, we were able to speak to both Congressman Henry Cuellar and Congressman Tony Gonzalez, opposite sides of the aisle, but obviously the border a huge issue, not just because it is ongoing right now and we're waiting for bipartisan legislation, but because there's a direct impact here in San Antonio from what occurs over there. So we got perspectives from both lawmakers. Here's a bit of what each had to say.
So we do have a problem, and we got to make sure that we address this not only on the 1 yard line called the U.S.-Mexico border, but also on the 20-yard line. What do I mean by that? Getting Mexico to do more to slow down not only people coming to the U.S., stopping people coming to the U.S. border, but also the drugs that are coming into the U.S.
We are a very compassionate city, and there's a way to fix this. And the way to fix this is to surge immigration judges immediately to the border and get people's cases heard in days, not years. And if somebody doesn't qualify for asylum, which is 9 out of 10, you immediately deport them.
You can check out both interviews in their entirety right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. We have Leading SA every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. So, guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Max. Ahead of the bipartisan deal, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is facing 2 articles of impeachment from the House Homeland Security Committee.
The Department of Homeland Security responding, saying no high crimes or misdemeanors have been committed. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more.
House Republicans releasing 2 articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas Sunday, accusing him of repeatedly violating laws enacted by Congress on immigration and border security, as well as a, quote, breach of public trust, claiming he misled Congress when he said the border was secure and that DHS had, quote, operational control. The Department of Homeland Security calling the impeachment baseless and a political stunt. Meantime, in the Senate, sources familiar with ongoing negotiations tell ABC News a bipartisan group of lawmakers could soon announce a landmark immigration deal. The deal gives the Department of Homeland Security the authority to shut down the border if migrant crossings or encounters surge beyond Border Patrol's capacity. Asylum seekers would still be allowed through regular ports of entry. The bill would also speed up the processing of asylum claims, requiring cases be evaluated within 6 months. But that deal could potentially be in jeopardy, with former President Donald Trump pressuring congressional Republicans not to compromise.
There is zero chance I will support this horrible open borders betrayal of America.
In a new statement, House Speaker Mike Johnson criticizing the unfinished Senate deal, saying President Biden should use the legal authority he already possesses to crack down on illegal border crossings. President Biden telling lawmakers in a statement last week, if you're serious about the border crisis, pass a bipartisan bill and I will sign it.
Lawmakers already telling me that they are concerned about if this immigration deal sputters out, what it means for Israel and for Ukraine after Republicans demanded that military assistance for both of those countries be linked to these immigration talks. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
The impeachment of Mayorkas will likely go to a vote in the Republican-controlled House at some point, though it is unclear if it will pass, and it's unlikely the Senate will vote to remove him from his job. A story tonight we are following for the Night Beat months after an NISD police officer shot a woman outside of a Sotomayor and O'Connor High School football game.
While the investigation continues, not much has been made public. Our Avery Everett has been following the story and gives us a peek into what she's working on for the Night Beat.
3 months after a Northside Independent School District officer shot a woman outside a football game, families still face a whole lot more questions than answers. KSAT 12 has reached out to the district and San Antonio police multiple times over the last 3 months, asking for the names of the officer and the woman involved, and all of our requests have been denied. Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, we'll show you what we've done over the last 3 months, and we'll give you an update on the investigation.
All right, thank you, Avery. Developing now, 3 U.S. Army soldiers have been killed and at least 30 others injured in a drone attack in Jordan. U.S. officials say the drone was fired by Iran-backed militants and appeared to come from Syria. This marks the first time U.S. troops have been killed by enemy fire in the Middle East since the beginning of the Gaza war.
Back here at home, San Antonio police investigating after a woman was killed in an overnight rollover crash. According to police, it happened just after 1 o'clock this morning. That woman driving down Del Lago Parkway near Vermilion Street somehow lost control and rolled her car. Police say the woman not wearing a seatbelt and was pronounced dead at the scene. There was also a passenger in her car, but he was uninjured. Police not sure what caused that woman to lose control of the vehicle.
And a mother and her toddler were hurt during an apartment fire this morning, and a group of people has been left without a home. Crews say the fire started just after 9 this morning on Uvalde Street and Whitting Avenue. A fire started in one unit and spread through the attic to 2 others. 3 people got out safely, and that injured mother and toddler were taken to the hospital. 1 unit is a total loss, and the other 2 are not livable. Police and fire investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the fire.
Still ahead of the news at 5:30, the important dates you need to know if you want to vote in the upcoming primary election.
But first, the race to the White House heating up. What former President Trump is asking from supporters at the next caucus mirrors. That's coming up after the break. The race to the White House continues as the next caucus is less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, over the weekend, President Biden and Nikki Haley, both in South Carolina, ahead of their prospective primaries. Former President Donald Trump campaigning in Nevada. Following Trump's wins in Iowa and New Hampshire, he is urging supporters to choose him in the GOP-run caucus on February 8th. Trump also attacking GOP rival Haley, who is taking part in the state-run primary, and Haley fired back.
Nikki Haley, have you ever heard of her? I didn't know she was still campaigning. She's still campaigning?
But what I do know is all that time that he's spending in a courtroom defending himself, he's not fighting for the American people.
As for President Biden, he was interrupted 3 times by protesters while out on the stage campaigning in South Carolina.
Well, the deadline to make your voice heard during the primary elections is quickly approaching. You only have 8 days left to register to vote. February 23rd is the last day to apply to vote by mail. The deadline for mail-in ballots to be returned to the county is Election Day, which is March 5th. Early voting runs from February 20th to March 1st. If you have any questions on how to register, how to get a mail-in ballot, or see who's on the ballot, head to KSAT.com.
All right, switching gears and heading outside with live cam. Absolutely beautiful. Plenty of sunshine. It has been a very comfortable end to the weekend here across South Central Texas with high temperatures near 70 degrees in many locations. Now, as we look ahead to the upcoming work week, we're going to continue to see that quiet weather pattern take shape. Chilly mornings followed by comfortable to even nice afternoons. But as we look ahead to next weekend, a little bit of a shakeup when it comes to the upper levels of the atmosphere. Rain chances return to the forecast. We're going to get you all those details coming up after the break.
Last Saturday leaving here, I think I passed Noah's Ark on the highway. 2 Saturdays ago, I needed to use an ice scraper to get home. Hopefully it's going to continue to be quiet tonight.
Yeah, for your last week in Texas.
Last weekend in Texas.
Keep this nice weather going. It's helping me out.
Yes, definitely will be the theme later tonight and even into the upcoming week. So that's great news. It's been really nice to have just a really calm kind of stretch of days after finding us a lot of rain this time last weekend. And then, of course, the freeze that happened 2 weekends ago. Take a look at temperatures right now, though. Nowhere near any of that. We're near 70 degrees actually on the thermometer over at SA International. A dew point of 32, so we have that low humidity in place, and we have seen nothing but sunshine out there today. It has been absolutely gorgeous to wrap up the weekend's plans, and that nice weather is going to continue as we head into the first half of the upcoming week. 64 in Gonzales right now, 70 degrees on the south side of Bexar County over there at Stinson, 71 in Castroville, 66 up near the Los Maples area, 65 up I-10 in Kerrville. Mentioned that low humidity. That's going to be the theme for any Sunday evening plans. Very comfortable with temperatures falling through the 50s after sunset. You can see that low humidity, though, it's going to continue through Tuesday into Wednesday. Then we'll start to see a little bit more of that moisture return ahead of and into next weekend. And that also is going to come in the form of some additional rain chances, which we'll talk about in just a second. But with that drier air in place, when you combine that with the calm winds also in place, as well as clear skies through the overnight, it's going to be another chilly one. By wake up time Monday morning, mid to upper 30s to low 40s expected in and around the San Antonio area. Right around 40 degrees for us here in the Alamo City by 7 a.m. Monday. 39 for places like Floresville, Nixon, 40 over in Seguin, 39 in Divine, 36 in Rio Medina, and 34 over in Comfort. So also like today, you're going to want the extra layer in the morning, but you're not going to need it as we head into the afternoon. I do also want to mention there is the potential we could find a few areas of patchy morning fog briefly tomorrow to start the day. But if we do find any of that, it's going to lift on out of here by mid-morning, and we're going to see more of that sunshine take over by lunchtime. 64 degrees at noon tomorrow. And I mentioned you're not going to need the extra layer into the afternoon. This is why. Very similar to what we've seen earlier today there as well. High temperatures topping off right near that 70-degree mark in many locations. So very copy and paste temperature-wise compared to what we've seen out there this Sunday. And still, for the most part, that's going to be the theme. Tuesday and into Wednesday, I do think we will see a little bit more high-level cloud cover stream in from the west. So you'll likely notice that potentially as early as tomorrow by late afternoon and into the evening. Still chilly mornings in the mid-40s Tuesday and into Wednesday. High temperatures topping off near that 70-degree mark. But as we head into the Thursday time frame, just a stray chance for an isolated shower, but those rain chances are actually going to increase ahead of and into next weekend in particular. So I want to time that out. You can see we are quiet across the state of Texas, much of the Central Plains, and really much of the lower 48 for that matter. There's an area of low pressure approaching New England, sparking some rain and storms up that way, as well as the mid-Atlantic. What's going to happen, though, in the upper levels of the atmosphere for us here at home? We're going to see a high pressure system move in by midweek. That's why things are pretty quiet and pleasant. But by Thursday, our attention shifts out west for an area of low pressure that's going to be moving in and approaching the state of Texas, especially by this weekend. So I do think some additional upper level energy as well as some moisture are going to move in with that low pressure system, sparking more scattered rain that looks to be in the forecast really on Saturday. Right now we've got it at about a 40% potential, but as we continue on in the days ahead, really fine tuning those details, we actually may need to bring that number up just a little bit. So that's going to be something to check back in on. Also, a cool down does look to follow behind that as we see a cold front move in associated with that system. So also something to monitor in the days ahead. But until then, enjoy this fantastic weather that we have to kickstart the weekend. Chilly mornings, but really nice in the afternoons, guys.
Keep telling my wife it's fake weather. It doesn't exist. We know what happens here most of the year. Thank you, Mia. All right, Mary, we're talking high school basketball tonight.
Yes, a collection of the top high school basketball talents in the area were named to the San Antonio Sports All-Star Basketball Game. The rosters were revealed, and today was Media Day. We'll hear from the athletes coming up after the break. Plus, the San Antonio Spurs are on a hot streak, back-to-back wins at home, with the most recent one being over the Timberwolves coming up. The San Antonio Spurs have won 3 of their last 5 games. The most recent win coming against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 113-112. It all went down last night inside Frostbank Center. The T-Wolves have been in a battle with OKC for the best record in the Western Conference, and They were, as expected, a problem for the Spurs, taking a 12-point lead into halftime. But San Antonio, who was fresh off of a win against Portland the night before, brought the energy in the second half. Keldon Johnson added 14 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. Victor Wembanyama notched a double-double, including a pair of steals and blocks. And Devin Vassell dropped a team-high 25 points. The Spurs' desire to win was finally reflected in the final score.
This one was definitely best one, from the team that we played to the crowd being into it to big time shots, big time stops. I feel like we've been on the other end of this when we have a good game, we're playing the team, and we get down and last couple minutes, they go on the run and they end up winning the game, even though we played a great game. So it's good for us to finally come out on the other side of it.
The Spurs are back in action on Monday when the Wizards come to town. San Antonio came away victorious in Washington the last time the two met just a handful of games ago. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. All right, the players selected for the inaugural San Antonio Sports High School All-Star Basketball game were revealed today, and this morning was Media Day, where we had the opportunity to sit down and chat with the All-Stars. 120 of the top local high school seniors will play on either Team Black or Team Gold in 2 different divisions, 1A through 4A schools plus private schools, and 5A and 6A schools. All of their talents will be showcased at the Northside Sports Gym. It'll be televised here on KSAT 12 as well as streaming on KSAT Plus and KSAT YouTube. Aside from the game, there will be a skills challenge and a 3-point contest. The athletes were plenty excited for the opportunity when we spoke with them this morning.
I'm just looking to cherish the moment. You don't get these moments very often, so I'm just looking forward to going out there, experiencing it, feeling the energy in the crowd, and it's going to be exciting.
I think it's an incredible opportunity to just grow my own skill set and to learn from people who, are better at me than in some areas, and I hope that they can learn from me in areas that I might be better than them. Just a real opportunity to come in better than we were before.
March 24th, we'll see the best of the best in San Antonio battle it out for these beautiful trophies. You can find a full breakdown of the teams, rosters, and game information on KSAT.com. Well, with 5 district games left on their schedule, the Central Catholic boys soccer team checks in atop the TAPS D1 District 2 standings. Central Catholic is on a tear. The Buttons defeated Concordia Lutheran 8-0 on Friday and Houston St. Thomas 7-1 yesterday. The group is executing at a high level and their chemistry on the field is off the charts.
All of us have really good connections. We play as good as a team, and it's all gonna work out in the end because we're like family.
It's great to see the kids playing at this high level right now. You want it. You want to play your best soccer right now and in the next couple weeks, right before you get to the playoffs. So we're getting there, but again, we want to be perfection, and we're trying to get there.
Coming up, the Buttons host Antonian, who they bested 4-2 back on January 10th. And by the way, Central Catholic goalkeeper Jamie Herron has recorded 7 clean sheets thus far.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Tension in the air at M&T Bank Stadium before the AFC Championship game. A trip to Super Bowl 57 on the line between the 3-seed Kansas City Chiefs and 1-seed Baltimore Ravens. First quarter, Patrick Mahomes locates Travis Kelce across the goal line from 19 yards out. T-Swift thrilled as the Chiefs take the early lead. Lamar Jackson says, "I'll do you one better." Jackson shakes off the tackle and throws a dime to Zay Flowers. We're all knotted up at 7. What a hot start to the game. The second quarter, Isaiah Pacheco bursts up the middle for a 2-yard TD run. And hey, that right there proved to be the game winner. Kansas City advances to the Super Bowl with the 17-10 victory. Mahomes threw for 241 yards, and they'll play the winner of this next game. And as it stands right now in the first quarter, Detroit owns the 7-0 lead over the 49ers. How about that? Still a lot to unfold in that one.
Ooh.
You'll have all the info for us tonight on Instant Replay.
Yes, exactly.
We'll be right back.
All right, turning cool for any Sunday evening plans. Clear skies, thermometers falling into and through the 50s after the sun goes down, which will be pretty shortly. Some patchy fog expected in a few areas. First thing tomorrow will be pretty brief. Plenty of sunshine, though, to kickstart the work week. It will be a chilly start near about 40 here in San Antonio, 7 a.m. High temperatures topping off, though, near 70. So that low humidity making for a pretty wide range in our temperatures. More of the same into the first half of this week, then monitoring some rain chances as we head into next weekend, guys.
So we hope you'll join us at 10, but if you can't make it tonight, this is Tim's last 5:30 show at KSAT after 20 years. Anything you want to say to San Antonio, Tim?
Tune in tonight, see what happens at 10.
At the end of the 10 o'clock, okay? At the very end, stay up late for us.
I don't know
it's
what's
worth
going
it.
to happen, but we'll see.
It's going to be fun.
Thanks for watching all these years.
It's
really
gonna
appreciate
be a
it.
surprise.
Pardon?